Welcome to DSCI Insights in Action. And as you know, in the Insights in Action, we always focus on how the transformation is done in digital supply chain. And we always speak with leaders who make things possible. So we are very fortunate today to have Carol Tomé as the CEO of UPS, and one of the organizations who changed the approach towards supply chain in a way, rethinking what's possible from my view. And you have been a trailblazer of that kind of a transformation, which has been amazing. And in an industry which consider itself traditional, but today it's all about technology. So yes. Thank you for being with us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Carol, I think it's super interesting for people to hear how the transformation goes through the segments of, like the data analytics, the segments of using the new technologies as tools, especially with continuous change of, let's say, demand of a new customer expectations. Yes. And then I would like to link one more thing to that question, if that is not too long, right? Is how do you also utilize internally then? That was an external thing towards the customer, but internally the AI and ML in order to improve the overall experience?
Well, every day we deliver over 22 million packages around the world in more than 200 countries and territories. And we do that through our global smart logistic network. This network is and has been powered by artificial intelligence and machine learning for years. And that's why we have the best on-time delivery of any carrier in the industry. And I'm super proud of that. And because it's a global integrated network, we can be responsive to changes in trade flows, which is happening right now. In the advent of tariffs, we see trade flows changing, every day. And with our network, we are able to lean into the change and serve our customers. So I'm very proud of that. The technology that powers our network was built by UPSers. From time to time, we supplement that technology with third-party software, but generally this is our own proprietary technology. Now, with the advent of generative AI and digital twins and robotics, it's a different game. It's a different game altogether. And it's allowing us to reimagine our network. We're 118 years old, but we have just launched the largest reconfiguration of our network in our company history because of technology. So imagine this. Our vision is to have some of our sorting centers dark, and that they will be powered by robots and humanoids and automated sorting and automated bagging and automated label application. That's pretty powerful because it makes our company, which is pretty productive, even more productive. But coupled with that is the opportunity to upskill our people and create opportunities for them to do different kind of work. And I'm excited about that too, because someone's going to have to oversee the robots. Someone's going to have to do that work and make sure that they're maintained. So it's an exciting time to be a UPSer. And to your question about, how do you then make this real for the customer experience? We do it in a couple of different ways. First, we do have very good on-time delivery. But if something happens to a package, a customer calls our call center. We had call centers around the world, and the experience that our customer had when they called in the call center, candidly, it was not good. And in fact, we track packages using a 1Z number. And if the caller came in and misspoke the 1Z number or mistyped it into a keyboard, we would hang up on them. It was a terrible experience. So we brought in technology to improve that experience, and now I'm happy to say, working with technology like Watson X and agentic AI, our first call resolution now is 64%. I want it to be higher, thank you. I want it to be higher, but that's a significant improvement from where it was. Now, from a revenue perspective, we are using generative AI to help our salespeople negotiate a deal. Before, they were relying on tribal knowledge, their history. They would use their history and their experience to negotiate a deal. Today, the deal is scored through generative AI, and the salesperson can watch the score as they're negotiating the terms and conditions. Wow. And get this, our win rate is higher and our discounting is lower than it was.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. So technology is powering our company.
Full visibility of KPIs. As people are looking
Yes.
for visibility within supply chain, your sales force has actually
Pretty cool.
real-time visibility on the KPIs.
Real-time visibility. Pretty cool.
Wow, well, it's really inspiring, and one of the things I would like to underline, and I think it would be interesting for people as well, you mentioned, just to remind them once again, you said you're rebuilding the system by UPSers, right? Which is amazing. Usually the companies will go out and try to source it from outside and, like, under quotes, import the innovation, but here innovation comes from within. Because, as an iconic brand, we're more than 100 years old, right? It's such a powerful tool.
Our strategic platform is simply this: customer first, people-led, innovation-driven.
Let's keep it on that. And I wanted them to go to the next question, which I have, and that's, you mentioned it a little bit about the uncertainty we live in today, and how are the things. So what are the key risks, you're most focused today? Are they geopolitical? Are they environmental? Are they technological? Are they all together potentially, right? Is it a matrix?
Yeah, well, I don't get a lot of sleep. There are a lot of risks that we're faced with every day.
That's one of the things of being a CEO of a large organization.
I think it just goes with the territory. As I say, you can sleep when you're dead. So, right now, clearly, we as a CEO, we're at the intersection of all contradictions, and one of those contradictions right now is what's happening with trade policy. Not to get into the policy making, but we know that trade follows policy, and tariffs generally aren't good for trade. And what we're seeing is sort of a tariff gymnastics happening. They're on again, they're off again, they're up, down, sideways, and it makes it very, very difficult to plan, project, and actually operate. So we are focused on just being as agile as we possibly can to meet our customers' needs. And that's all you can do right now. At the end of the day, I'm sure there's a long game being played, and this is all going to sort itself out. For right now, we just have to focus on taking care of our customers.
It's beautiful what you said, and through what you shared, I think you're giving your customers the right choice. And it's up to them to select what the right choice in their segment is, without telling them you do this or you do that.
That's exactly right. We've interviewed over 50,000 customers to understand, how are they thinking about tariffs? Are they thinking about changing their origin or their destination? Are they thinking about changing their mode of transportation? We can help them as they're thinking through all of this. We do this as part of our solutions group because we really are customer first.
And it seems like to me that you are, flying an airplane and you are changing an engine while you are flying without customer feeling the turbulence.
Well, that certainly is the goal. I'm sure we're not perfect at
Nobody
this.
is, right?
But it certainly is the goal.
So let's shift gears and go towards looking ahead, right?
Okay.
Because for all of the organizations, especially the global leaders as UPS is, right? What innovation or strategic bets do you believe will bring the most significant advantage? On one side, I will ask for your organization, but seeing how customer-centric you are at the end of the day to your customers.
Yeah. I think you know this better than anyone. It's visibility. It's end-to-end visibility. In today's world, it's impossible to believe how fragmented supply chains are and that shippers don't see end-to-end visibility. Within our company, we have created a tool called Symphony, which is a form of orchestration. So if you are within our network, air freight, ocean freight, truckload, we can capture all of that. But if you're out of our network, can't capture it. You can imagine a world one day where all of that is shared in some collaborative, trust way that would make supply chains more efficient and the customer experience even better. Maybe that's nirvana, but there should be a way that we come together to create this end-to-end visibility. In the meantime, without that solution, we're kind of chunking it up. So one area of just a black hole was the calculation of customs duties and fees at the point of checkout. This is really frustrating for customers if they're shipping cross-border because they didn't know until the package arrived at their destination what the duties, taxes, and fees. And oftentimes when that package arrived, you're like, I'm not going to pay for that. They had no idea what that was. Well, we've created something called Global Checkout. So at the point of checkout, we now calculate duties, taxes, and fees in 43 different countries. So you know. So you know. That's a form of visibility. That's a better customer experience. It's a better shipper experience. It's just a better experience all the way around. And so all of us need to be leaning into how we create better experiences for our customers, driven by technology, of course. But I think that's innovation and the most exciting thing coming at us.
100%, and it's definitely creating a customer engagement in a way, because if I as a customer have the visibility from moment one up to when it comes, and then transparency in a sense of cost and what I'm receiving, that's nirvana for me, right?
Of course it is.
It's I think your big goal of reaching the nirvana in supply chain, which I think is like very good and very strong. It is difficult, but chunking it into pieces, as you said, that's like a 1,000,000-mile journey starts with small steps, and then everybody can celebrate. So including the customer.
It does, and our solution actually is integrated into shipping and billing systems. So it's a complete solution, not just a customer-facing solution, and that's an important part too. Thinking about solutions end to end.
Thank you very much, Carol. After hearing the story, I'm definitely inspired. So if we can support anything along the way, your cause is noble because it's involving everyone. It's not just about the company, it's about the customer, it's about the network, it's about the global trade, which runs mostly through supply chains, right?
It sure does.
So that's a big problem to resolve, and in that problem you should not be alone. So thank you very much for being with us, and looking forward to hear in the future more about the vision and successes you can share with others.
Well, it's been a delight. Thank you so much for including me. Thank you.
Thank you.